So welcome. If you've been meditating, I invite you to come out of meditation slowly. Thank you for joining us today, the last day of this fabulous year. Although I think our expanded awareness doesn't really know the difference between now and now and now. But since it's sort of a cultural celebration that's been around for thousands of years, thought we'd celebrate it together by paying attention to this threshold, this turning. Welcome, my name's Sarah McLean if I haven't met you before, but I think this is a whole gathering of good friends. And you probably know the song Auld Lang Syne. If you're English speaking, you probably have heard it. May old acquaintance not be forgot. And Auld Lang Syne means gathering together and remembering, as if you're sitting with a good friend, reviewing your life, reviewing your times that you've been together, you've been separate, you've been on track, you've been off track. And I thought this would be a really good type of meditation to use today, sort of crossing the threshold between what was and appreciating it in the sentiment of Auld Lang Syne, and considering how we're going to meet 2026. So it's not all about, we're not going to really set intentions. There are plenty of people that are doing that. How do you want to be? New year, new you. What's going on next? What if we just appreciated where we came from this last year? I don't know if it was tricky for you, but I did not read the terms and conditions for 2025. If I had, I am not sure I would have agreed to them. And so it was a year full of loss and gain and sadness and joy and stamina and fatigue and resistance and acceptance. And I'm sure that you've had a year like that too. Whatever the case may be, here we are. Obviously, we made it through. And maybe it's a good time as we stand on a threshold before we are entranced by 2026 to spend a little time easily, gently reflecting on where we've come from and appreciating. It's like I used to be a fan of Irish goodbyes. I don't know if any of you are Irish or if you've heard of them, where you kind of leave a party without saying goodbye. And I used to love that because I didn't know how to say goodbye and thank you and all of that. It wasn't something I learned. So I have learned to do this. Welcoming everyone as a hostess, making sure everybody's comfortable throughout the entire event, and then saying goodbye on purpose with intention and appreciation. And I think whether we're a guest or a hostess or a host, that's what we can do, is we can say goodbye with appreciation and just enjoying, reminiscing on the times we had, the meals we enjoyed, those moments of pleasure, the difficult moments, and the aha moments that you may remember. So I'm going to invite you to spend a little time here. Well, first of all, hello and welcome. I'm sitting here in sunny, actually not so sunny today, Santa Barbara. And if you'd like to say hello and where you're from in the chat, I invite you to do that. You could say hello, and if you're listening to this on a recording, I invite you to do the same thing. We're just allowing a few more people to come in, and a few more soul friends to join us as we do that. Well, welcome Sue from Merseyside, UK. You're closer to the new year than most of us here. I know it's already 2026 in India and in Australia, New Zealand, and China. Pretty sure. Hello from the Netherlands. Fireworks. Wonderful. Yes, that snaps us out of our hypnosis so we can enter the new year sharp as a tack and in fear or maybe in awe. Okay, thank you so much for saying hello. Rwanda, it's a very international gathering here. Chattanooga, Happy New Year. Sebastopol, Northern California, West Virginia, St. Augustine, New York City. Of course, I'm sure, Deb, you're going to where the ball is dropping. and glowing out there. Yes, and Kansas, well, welcome. From wherever you happen to be sitting, this is here and it is now. And I'm going to invite you to enter into a meditation that'll be about 20 minutes. At the end of the meditation, I'm going to share a few poems and prayers with you, and then invite you to stay along if you're listening to this live. I'll invite you to stay and hang out a little bit with some friends if you want to in a breakout room. And so thank you for being here today. So let's get comfortable. You know, as you probably know in meditation, the key is comfort. And when, you know, with good tidings of comfort and joy, it's a great way to move into the new year. And so sitting comfortably as we go through this meditation, it's okay to note that your mind might travel into other places and times, which is sort of the plan here anyway. But your mind may travel to places you don't want to go, and you can always just correct it. Say, come back here, little one, and be kind to yourself. Also, it's important that if I suggest something and it's not happening for you, just to let it be. You don't need to have this go a certain way. This is your awareness meeting you with memories or insights or ideas. And we're going to simply let everything be as it is. So be kind to yourself. Let everything be as it is. Don't try too hard to have a certain experience. And let's go through the whole practice of about 20 minutes. Okay, so getting comfortable. You can be seated or lying down. I invite you to sit up, because it tends to help us to integrate this awareness into our daily activity. But if you're more comfortable lying back, and you can close your eyes or you can keep them open, it's up to you. Some people like to gaze softly to the ground. Let your body be supported as you give yourself some deeper breaths through your nose. Breathing in slowly and deeply. Breathing out slowly and fully at your own pace. Noticing the threshold between the inhale and the exhale, in the pause, the ending and the beginning of each breath. The luxurious breath, let it be natural now. Still holding that pause in your awareness. Feeling the support right now of the place around you, the walls, the doors, the windows, the ceiling and the floor. Acknowledging the life around you, whether you have a few plants in your room, or a few people, or pets. Our acquaintances. Throughout this practice, you'll be breathing naturally. There's no need to control or regulate your breath. And as you sit here easily, feel the support of the chair beneath you or the cushion. There's nothing you need to hold up on your own. Letting everything be natural now. Your breath, your body. You might have to put into practice welcoming everything and resisting nothing. As you might hear sounds in your environment or feel sensations in your body. There's nothing to change, nothing to improve. Accepting this moment as it is. This moment, the threshold between the past and the future. Now, without replaying the past year or telling its story, allow a sense of it to arise, not as a timeline, but an impression, a flavor, as if you're looking back across a landscape or coming home from a long journey. You can gaze at the pictures rather than retrace every step or every moment. Let a few moments and ideas and visions and sounds and sensations resurface on their own. They don't need to be dramatic. They can be quiet. Maybe it was a holiday or a vacation or a birthday or a challenging moment. And let your body soften if anything rattles it. Allowing your breath to be natural. Honoring the difficult and the good. And in the spirit of the song Auld Lang Syne, you can even imagine you're sitting at a tea table, reminiscing with the good friend that is your soul, your spirit or your angels. Perhaps you recall moments that were nourishing or moments that were demanding. Perhaps there were moments of betrayal. And moments of forgiveness. Perhaps you recall a moment of joy. Or a moment of deep sadness. Let whatever wants to arise in your awareness. Moments of deep connection. Moments where hope was all that kept you going. Moments of awakening. There's no need to weigh these experiences. Instead, just acknowledging them. This too, I lived with and through and for. Imagine that your entire life, especially this past year, unfolded perfectly, even though you may not have seen it that way. Noticing even in the difficult moments, there's an aspect of you that continued, this indelible presence, this loving awareness. Perhaps there were difficult times and times you felt you made a mistake. But some say in the light of awareness, there is no such thing as a mistake. Recognizing your capacity to meet the moments that arose. To the best of your ability at the time. You may have to gently remind yourself, even though that happened, I love and appreciate myself completely. Seeing yourself and your personality through loving, gentle eyes. And now, sense into what feels finished. What feels complete. Maybe it's an attitude or a behavior, a role you've outgrown, an expectation you've carried, or a habit you no longer need. Perhaps it's simply a way you speak to yourself that's no longer nourishing. Imagine placing what is complete somewhere it can rest, where you don't have to carry it into this new year. Returning it to where it belongs, as if you burn it in a fire or plant it into the earth. Setting it free in some moving water, or letting it fly into the sky. As you let it go, it lets you go. And now you can see, feel, or imagine yourself standing at this threshold of January, named after the ancient god of two faces, one that looks forward and one that looks back. As you imagine yourself standing on this threshold, behind you the year lived, loved, and left behind. And ahead of you, a year not yet known. Letting yourself relax into this moment of not knowing, of maintaining a beginner's mind. Of maintaining this quiet, elegant presence. And you can ask yourself softly, not setting a goal or making a plan or even setting an intention, but simply asking, what quality wants to live through me? Perhaps it's courage or presence or patience or joy. Perhaps it's honesty or calmness or compassion. Simply ask, what quality wants to live through me? An answer may or may not meet the question, but we'll sit like this, gently being present, listening, accepting everything as it is for a little while. If your mind wanders too far off, come back here. where your breath is, and the threshold between the inhale and the exhale and the inhale. And I'll keep track of the time as we enter into the silence together. Your presence is the threshold, the what is. It's the between the what's coming and what has passed. And keeping your eyes closed, begin now to become a little more aware of your body, the way it moves with the breath. Where it's being supported, the chair or the floor. Notice the breath moving in and out, effortless, ongoing, nourishing, and fresh. And as we sit here, as we come out of our meditation with the eyes closed, I invite you to remember that your presence is the continuum, is the threshold. I want to read to you a poem called The Guest House by Rumi. Some of you may know this. It reminds me of an attitude I'd like to adopt and invite you to adopt in the midst of life, in the unfoldment of this new day, moment, year. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whomever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Meet them with your awareness, with your beginner's mind, the same way you welcome each breath. Trusting that life loves you. And life is going to love you each and every day of this new year. So I invite you to put your hands in the Namaste position, the Anjali Mudra, palms pressed together in front of your breastbone. And honor the presence that lives through you as you. Tune into it now. This ever-present awareness that has been accompanying you, whether you know it or not, since you've been born, and maybe before. And each one of us has this, and I invite you to bow to it, honor it, recognize it, say hello. In the same way you might open your eyes gently and say hello to each one of us, your soul friends, your old acquaintances that have been with you throughout this journey of this year. So thank you for joining me today. Really struck me that your presence as well as mine is the threshold. This now is the threshold. So thank you for joining me and Happy New Year. I know some of you cannot stay, but I would love to invite you to connect, share your experience as I stop the recording.